The Christians have always maintained that there is but one God, albeit one God divided into three beings, and that this reputedly all-powerful God of theirs has such a fragile ego that he will inflict eternal torment on anyone who offends him by worshipping another God. I have never believed such nonsense, but at times I have allowed the possibility that he, like my gods, has some power. One such time was when I was transported into the 21st century while taking my uncle's confession in the guise of a priest. I had always taken his inability to perform miracles as proof of the Christian God's impotence. On that occasion, however, something miraculous did occur. I, on the threshold of taking vengeance on my hated usurper uncle, was struck more than a millennium through time, seemingly estranged forever from Bebbanburg, from what I had taken to be my destiny. I thought that the God of the Christians might be punishing me for misusing a place of his worship. The thought did not last long. It was Thursday, day of Thor, and lightning had struck the church a moment before the miracle, surely a sign that Thor sought to amuse himself by tormenting the Christians who used what probably had once been a place of his worship. Or maybe he was tormenting me. I always seek to entertain my gods, and I thought my trick for gaining access to my uncle would grab their eyes, and maybe it did. But why had I been denied my destiny? I wondered what path the Norns had weaved for me, and scanned the night sky for a sign. I did not look for long. A man leapt at me from the darkness, and tried to stab my collar with his knife. I grabbed his arm, unsheathed wasp sting and thrust it into his guts, spilling them onto the earth, an offering for Odin's ravens. Two birds came. One of them was a raven, its black feathers barely visible in the dark, but the other was a white gull. This was surely an omen, which I pondered, while taking a wallet from the man's garments. In hindsight, knowing all that I've learned since, it is amazing that I was not arrested. Having found my way onto endless streets of stone, I strode down the road with wasp sting and serpent breath borne openly on my person, and entered a tavern. By a remarkable twist of fate, a Battle-Reenactment society had stopped there on a pub crawl, and I roused less attention than would otherwise have been the case. I asked for ale, and was told to pay £3. I fumbled through my slain foe's wallet for a while, and then the barmaid pulled out a filthy crumpled piece of paper, and handed me in return a beautiful shining gold and silver coin and a pint of golden ale. After several more ales and a shot of applesauce, I started talking to the barmaid. She could understand barely a word I said, but she liked me, and was impressed by what she took to be an authentic depiction of a Dark Age warlord. Her hair was of the finest blonde, finer than that of any Danish wench I'd ever seen. The other barmaid, who now came over to witness my performance, had the darkest hair and the darkest skin I had ever seen. The sight of them stood side by side stirred my loins, and I recalled the Omen, one white gull, one black raven, and some bodily fluids. They asked me to stay the night, and I did as I was bid. Would bid Faleried. Fate is inexorable,